welcome to Reads and Threads. My name's Kate. Hello if you're new here, welcome back if you're joining us again. Today is the beginning of our last vlog for Readathon Rebellion. I think we can pretty much knock out the rest of the squares in this week, so that's my plan anyway. I am still reading A Time of Dread that we pulled last week. I'm about halfway through, hoping to get that done fairly soonish. The live show I think would have happened overnight for me, so eager to see what everyone else's thoughts was about the book, but I've still got a bit more to read before I actually want to watch that. That is for Becca and the Books Catch Up Book Club, but we need to do another role for the Readathon Rebellion, mainly because I need an audiobook as well. Tomorrow I am going to be driving up to see my sister, so she lives about an hour away from me, so I need something to listen to on the way because I don't just want to listen to music. There is still a fair few books on my September TBR that I need to get to, so I'm hoping that whatever prompt we end up landing on, I will be able to slot in one of the books that I still really need to get to before the end of this month. So let's go to the board, roll again, see what we got, and hopefully, fingers crossed, it is one that I can work with. Okay, when we last left off, we landed on Roadblock. So let's hope for a decent number because there's still a fair few till the end. 4, not bad. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we got another roadblock. Okay. We'll get up our roadblock spinner wheel. I should have taken out the number that we got last time. I don't think it has come out for some reason. I think we got a 6 last time. I thought I deleted it. We'll see if I land on it if it's the same one. But let's give it a spin. Read a book involving found family. Okay, I'm not entirely sure, so we will remove that one though. And let me go have a look and we'll reconvene and find out a bit more about our story as well. There are still a few that I have left on my September TBR, and I was really hoping that the prompt we got would work with those. So they are these. I have Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies. I need to read this for multiple of reasons, but mainly because it's my book club pick. And at the very beginning of October, we're going to be at my book club meeting. So this has to get done. And I do have an audio of this, but I don't know that it necessarily has found families. But I could be wrong, I don't know. Then I have Chloe's pick, which was a slightly alarming Tales of the Whispering Wars. Again, this is a group of friends. It might slightly work, but I'm not entirely sure enough. And from what I can find on like Goodreads or Storygraph, it doesn't specifically say. So until I read it, I'm not going to know. And then we have Fable, which I was really hoping I could get it to work for this one because I think this is going to be a fairly quick read, but I would be reading this physically, again, over an audio. So I've gone with a completely random book. Although not random, I do need to read it. It is on my Our Fantasy Bingo, as well as me just really wanting to read it. And that is Silverborn by Jessica Townsend. So this is the 4th in the Nevermore series. And this is definite found family. I know that just by having read the first 3. I have this on audio already, so that's really well. And it works really well as an audio. I've read all of the others via audio, and hoping that I remember enough of what is going on that I don't need to reread those. I might read a quick spoiler thing. But this is going to work really well as an audio. It is chunky, but I think the audio will go pretty quickly. And I love this. I did get to meet Jessica Townsend, and so got it signed. And she's written at the top, look closer. So each book, as she was signing them, has a different little thing written in it. So like for Nevermore, it says step boldly. And I just think that's really cool. So hopefully I'm going to enjoy this one as much as I enjoyed the other 3. I think I will. I can't see me not. And I have been really eagerly awaiting reading this. So I think we're just going to do Silverborn as our next prompt. But let's actually read the story that Mel has put together for the roadblock spot for prompt 4. So it says, you did your job and got information from the villagers that the train car the guards used to get up to the mountain is still there. but it is old and no longer works. You must work with other diviners to get it working again. Read a book involving found family, hence the prompt. I do really like the little story pieces that Mel has put together. Hopefully, I'm probably not going to start Silverborn till tomorrow on my drive, but hopefully by then I can get a fair, decent chunk, if not finished, of A Time of Dread. That would be cool. If I could get that finished today, tomorrow, then we can roll again and hopefully get one of these 3 on there. Although I'm not entirely sure because I think our next objective is a prompt with an action word, and that definitely doesn't work for any of those 3. But we'll see. We never know. We might roll low and end up with another prompt. It's the fun of the game, which I am enjoying. It's just whether I'm going to be able to now finish at the end of September, or we might end up rolling this game slightly into October, which is fine because I'm mainly doing this for Herked, which means I have technically a whole year to do it, and it's a fairly easygoing game, so I don't think it's going to matter if I didn't fully finish by the end of September. So I think we're just going to keep going until we're done. I will give you a bit of a rundown of how I'm feeling about Silverborn when I'm a little bit into it without any spoilers, because it is the 4th book in the series, and see if I think you definitely needed to have read them straight after the others, but hopefully not. Hello, I'm just jumping in with a quick update. So it is Tuesday. My plans have completely changed today. So I was going to be going to my sister's and starting Silverborn, which I may still do, start Silverborn that is. I'm not going to my sister's now till Thursday, which is fine. So my plan at the moment though is to finish A Time of Dread. I've got just over a quarter to go. I really want to knock this one out today if possible. I've been out this morning already and run a couple of errands, so I shouldn't necessarily need to go out again, but I might just if the mood takes me. Although I do need to now film my October Reach the Castle video, which I'm going to do in a second. And then I need to edit the 2nd vlog from September and get that up probably this afternoon if I can. We'll see how we go. It's not a huge, like it doesn't really have a specific date that I was planning on putting it up, but my plan is to try and get it up today or early tomorrow maybe. But we'll see. I've got all day. It can go up whenever I just finish editing it. I'm not going to like schedule it to go up at a certain time, which is fine. So I'm going to film my October TBR now, which is a lot of fun. I have so much fun playing Reach Castle. So we'll do that, and then I'm going to do a bit of reading, vlogging, just relaxing and see how we go. I wouldn't mind trying to fit in a walk as well at some point. I've got a couple of appointments tomorrow, so a lot of my day I will probably be out. So I will definitely be able to start Silverborn then. It's about 1:30. I am kind of feeling restless. I know I said I was going to finish my book and edit a video and all that fun stuff, and I may still do some of that, but I just really feel like going out. It's really nice outside, and I have done some stuff today. I did film my TBR game, so that's out, but the weather's just really nice. I feel like getting out and about. I kind of feel like I've been stuck in my house for like the last 4 weeks, mainly because I was recuperating from surgery, which is fine. But I'm feeling a lot better now. I do have to go out tomorrow anyway, but you know what? We're just going to go and look at some books. And I'm trying to be good. Just filled up my drink bottle with sugar-free lime cordial. I want to try and finish all of this today. I've been so bad with any kind of water intake lately, and I can't drink plain water. It tastes disgusting. But I have been pretty lax with even getting my cordial in. So I'm going to attempt to do that. I'm going to start Silverborn on the drive, and I think I'm going to take myself to some secondhand bookshops up in Blackwood. So it's about, I don't know, 20 minutes from my house to Blackwood. So it'll be a nice drive, hopefully pick up some books and see what we see. Okay, it's a super quick update. I have started Silverborn, and I have popped on one of my Charlie and Fox book covers. I'm not too far into it. I did get a bit more. I'm in chapter 6, so I think that's somewhere between 50 to 67 pages. This is a fairly intensively long read. So this is actually 663 pages. It's definitely not a short one. I might use this maybe for my 600 plus pages for Hercad as well as the readathon. I'm not entirely sure, but I am enjoying it. The audio of these is always the way that I have preferred to read. Nevermore, and the narrator is just really great and I am enjoying it. I'm slowly remembering the characters. I didn't end up vlogging anything while I was out, and I also realized I was stupid. I probably should have had something to eat before I went because it was like already past lunchtime, so I still haven't eaten yet. So I'm gonna go make a sandwich. But I did find a couple of things, one in extremely good condition, and that was The Iron Daughter, which is part of Julie Kagawa's Iron Fae series. This is book number 2. I don't have book 1, but I did find the other day books 5 and 6 out on sale at QBD, and it is a series that I want to read, so just getting them cheap. This one cost me $10, so it wasn't too bad, and in really good condition. I just thought that was really cool. And in another little shop, I found this first season of One Tree Hill on DVD, which I've been needing to replace for a while. I have owned this for years and I love the show. Went to Wilmington in North Carolina where this was filmed. But my version was an American version, so makes it a bit harder to rewatch if I ever wanted to rewatch it. So I have found an Australian version now, so if I wanted to, it would just work, no problems. And then now all of my discs can match, so that is good. I have not done much other reading, no video editing, which I will do this afternoon, but my head is feeling chockers. Ever since like before my surgery, I've been had a really bad cough. And I think allergies are just kicking my butt, or I picked up a virus or something. I don't know, because I don't feel sick. My head is just not heading. But I think I'm just going to go rest for a while, have something to eat, hopefully do a bit more reading. And at least I've made a start on Silverborn, so I'm really happy with that. I'm going to find a cool bookmark so I can mark my progress along on the book, which I do like doing. And if I wanted to, I could pick it up physically, and I think I even have an ebook of it as well. But I probably will just continue having that as my audio read, but we'll see. All right, see you in the next clip. Hello, welcome in. It is Thursday morning. It's about 8 o'clock. And last night, very late last night, I finished A Time of Dread by John Gwynne. This took me a couple of days longer than I was actually hoping. I was hoping to finish this Monday, and in the end that just didn't happen. I ended up spending a heap of time editing a video and trying to get my computer to actually play nice. So I have had to wait a bit to actually watch the live show, and I am halfway through doing that at the moment, and just really intrigued hearing what everyone thought about the book. I've given this one 4 stars. I did really enjoy it. I do think that I don't like how far away from the original story we actually are. And I think that there's definitely not as many character point of views in this one. We've only got 4, but overall it's a good setup book. So like it really does feel like if you hadn't read The Faithful and the Fallen, he does a good job of kind of telling you what happened in that series without needing to have read it. But I do think you definitely get something out of this if you'd read the first series first. So I would definitely recommend reading The Faithful and the Fallen before you went into Blood and Bone. I did like a few of the characters that we got, and I'm so intrigued to see just how John Gwynne's going to end this series. So overall, I had a really good time. It was slower paced. It did feel more like a first book, but it's a solid 4 stars. It is really good. John Gwynne's writing style is just really well done. And if you like epic fantasy and you haven't checked him out, I really do think that this is something that you could enjoy. We went a different direction with this than of Faithful and the Fallen, so that'll be interesting to see how that all coalesces. Like adding some new kind of horror-ish, spooky elements that weren't in the original ones as much. So cool to see some of the characters that we got from the first ones, though considering the time jump, there's not very many. But yeah, it really intrigued, and happy that I managed to fit this one in, both with the Readathon Rebellion and getting it done before the end of September, and not too far behind the live show for Catch Up Book Club. I'm not entirely sure if I updated you on Silverborn, but I am a decent chunk through now. I'm in the middle of a chapter, which annoys me sometimes when I've got to stop at a random break. Because I was listening to an audio and driving not very far last night, it started a new chapter and I didn't want to sit there in silence. So I'm about 170 pages in. I am really enjoying this. It's such an easy world to get into, like via audio anyway. I did struggle with Nevermore when I first tried to pick it up, which is the first book in this series. Trying to read it physically, I just couldn't do it. I don't know what it was. I was not getting into it. I think I tried 3 or 4 times and I'm just like, no, I'm not going to like this book. And then I tried the audio and it was awesome. It was just so much better for some reason. And I would recommend trying the audios for this. They're really well done. With this one, I think I am struggling a little bit at the beginning because it's been so long since I read the other 3. So Hollowpox specifically, and I'm pretty sure when I read Hollowpox, it wasn't that long after I had read Nevermore and Wondersmith. So this one is taking a little bit longer to remember when all her friends were. There was a good little description recently on like who they all were and who their patrons were and that kind of thing, which was really handy. Jessica Townsend's just made such an awesome, unique world that you just feel really engaged and drawn in straight away. Really looking forward to seeing what is going to happen with Morrigan and her friends in the next big chunk of this book. But considering the size, if you listen to this, or I'm assuming even if you physically were reading it, it just reads so fast. So this is definitely an easy, I think, fast-ish paced read, which I need, I think, for the last objective from, which isn't overly handy now because I'm going to have to come up with another book. And that took my coaster with it. I'm really interested to roll again to get us another book and hope that we can add in the last couple that I need to read before the end of September and give me enough time to read them. So it is currently the 25th. So I have 6 days, including today, to finish off some stuff before technically September's over. Now, I will try and add in my reads, but I might have to pick a book that's not on my TBR for the last couple of objectives, which might push us over into October, but we'll see how we go. So let's go roll again and see what we get. Okay, so we're all set up and you can see that we definitely don't have very many spots until we get to the end. Hopefully we can reach objective 3, but knowing our luck, now I've jinxed us, we're probably not going to, but let's see what we get. A 3, no, I definitely jinxed us. So we've got info gathering. Let's get the spin wheel up and we will spin again and see what we get. Match your book to your most recent song. I don't even know how to begin to do that, but let's read the story that goes with it and see what I can come up with. Okay, so matching a song. I don't know how I would do that. And there definitely must be some story that goes with that. Let's have a bit of a look. See what Mel's written, because it is so intriguing. We landed on info gathering and we've rolled prompt 10, which says, your mission is almost complete, but that doesn't mean the rebellion is over. Listen in to the guards' conversations to see what else you can learn. Match your book to your most recent song. Now, pretty much, I haven't been listening to much music that I remember, but I've been listening to a lot of ambience while I read or edit or anything like that, and I kind of feel like ambience and Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies kind of go together. So we're going to go with this one. One, because it's on my TBR. And I think it does kind of have those kind of vibes for me. Like the ambience that I listen to is fairly kind of fantasy, magical, relaxation kind of ambience. So it's just like background music. And I think that kind of gives Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies vibes. So if you don't know what this one is about, because I didn't know a huge amount about it, it says, enter the world of the hidden folk and discover the most whimsical, enchanting and heartwarming tale you'll read this year, starring the intrepid Emily Wilde. Emily Wilde is good at many things. She is the foremost expert in the study of fairies. She is a genius scholar and a meticulous researcher who is writing the world's first encyclopedia of fairy lore. But Emily Wilde is not good at people. So when she arrives at the hardscrabble village of Harnsvik, however you say that. No idea. Emily has no intention of befriending the gruff townsfolk, nor does she care to spend time with another new arrival, her dashing and insufferably handsome academic rival, Wendell Bambley. But as Emily gets close to uncovering the secrets of the Hidden Ones, the most elusive of all fairies, she also finds herself on a trail of another mystery. Who is Wendell Bambley? And what does he really want? To find the answers, she'll have to unlock the greatest mystery of all, her own heart. So this is going to be extremely different vibes to what we've just finished in A Time of Dread. And I think that that's not a bad thing. It'll break it up a bit. So this is like my second foray into cozy fantasy, or what's considered cozy fantasy. I've read The Spell Shop, really enjoyed that one by Sarah Beth Durst. Yeah, just intrigued to see if this is a series for me. This is a trilogy at the moment. I don't know if it's planning on getting more books or if it's just staying as a trilogy. But yeah, this is also my Book Co's Book Club book. So I really have to get to this one because this was my pick. And our meeting is October the 2nd. So this has to be done fairly soonish for me to be able to talk about it at my own book club. So yeah, this is going to be our next read.
Come a little closer, I wanna dance with you. Everything's moving slower, I don't know what it is you do. I've been looking at you all night, trying to figure you out. I just wanna make you smile. Hold your hand in my hand, looking at the sunset. Man, you're looking good tonight. I wanna kiss you before the sun goes down. It's what you're doing, making me feel like I'm falling. And when you're moving, I can hear my calling. There's no one else here that I see but you. It's what you're doing that's making me feel like I'm falling. Yeah, I'm falling in love. Falling in love. You set my wheels in motion, I'm going crazy for you. I feel like the ocean, I can see you want this too. Cause you've been looking at me all night, trying to figure me out. I just wanna let you know, and I ain't playing no games, baby, you won't change. I only want you. I wanna kiss you before the sun goes down. It's what you're doing, making me feel like I'm falling. And when you're moving, I can hear my calling. There's no one else here that I see but you. It's what you're doing that's making me feel like I'm falling. Yeah, I'm falling in love. Yeah, I'm falling in love.
Hello, so you just would have seen some footage from last night. So my niece Chloe is part of an art studio. It's called Little Picasso's. They teach kids all different types of art styles, and she goes to a class once a week, I think it is, and they were having an exhibition in the city. So that exhibition will run for 4 weeks, and a piece of her art was on display, which you would have seen. It was the one in one of the videos probably. Top left, I will have zoomed in. It's got a biggish abstract flower in the middle with a sunset background. I'll probably have pointed out which one specifically was Chloe's, but she was really excited to see her art on display, and it was really good for us all to be able to just go in and have a look. And then we went out for dinner, which was lovely, and just hung out. So that was really nice. I'm going to be going in with my sisters to have a look again, because it was for some reason a ticketed event, so they said you could only have a certain number at once. However, you probably could have had more and it would have been fine, and we probably all could have gone, which was a bit of a shame, but just get to see it twice. I did get a little bit more reading or listening anyway out of Silverborn, which is good. So I'm about halfway through that, still really enjoying it. I love the world. It's such a good children's middle grade book series to get into. It's just so well done. So really enjoying my time in that. Yesterday I also did do a little bit of shopping and I got a new Halloween t-shirt which was so cute, and I just thought I'd show it. But like, how cute is that? I don't have a huge amount of Halloween stuff, although I'm so tempted by a lot of the little ghosts and pumpkins and stuff that are around the place at the moment. Never really been hugely into Halloween. It's not really a massive thing, or never used to be, especially when I was growing up. It seems more like an American holiday. But yeah, it's definitely coming into its own now, and I don't know that I really want to get sucked into decorating for it, but also some of the stuff looks so cute that I really do want to buy it. Before we get into my update about the book, I did also receive a package, which I was going to leave for an unboxing video, but I also just thought I'm so eager to see it that I just don't want to wait. This should be the Barnes & Noble Wings and Claw edition, I think it's called, of Onyx Storm. So I have ordered all 3 books that will go on the shelf behind me, which I'm super looking forward to, but I don't want to wait to open it, so let's open it together and have a look. Not the best pull tab. Can we actually get into it without ruining the book? Oh, they've stuck it down well. Oh, there, I think I've got it. Okay, I do. Oh, you can already see it in there. It's so pretty. The cover is just the same, but this is fine, and I will look at how pretty that is. And so they should all match when they arrive. Let's have a look at the end papers. So we have the map. Is it the same on the other side? Yes. I don't think there's nothing else on the other side of the jacket. And it's just a plain hardback with the gold spine, but that edge, yes please. That's gonna look so good behind me, and I can't wait to receive the other 2. I don't think that they're coming out until like the 30th of September. I think I'll have a little bit of a wait. So hopefully they will ship together anyway. And I love how the black is on the top, but the silver's on the bottom, so it all just flows. Oh, so pretty. Love that. That is gonna look so good behind me. Can't wait to put that on the shelf. I'm still got hay fever or something going on. I've had a cough for like 5 weeks, and I can't believe that I'm nearly at the end of my leave after my surgery, and we're nearly at the end of September. It is the 27th today. It's insane. So nearly at the end of the Readathon Rebellion as well, which is what these vlogs are for. And I have now started Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies. I'm not a hugely long way into it. I am on the 29th of October in the evening. So this whole book is set out as a series of journal entries. We started the book on the 20th of October in 1909. So it is set on Earth. She's travelled from Cambridge and then from London off to some of the Scandinavian countries at the top. And I think the countries themselves obviously are there, but the actual village that she mentions is made up. I'm not entirely sure. I did try and actually Google map it to see if it was a real place that she had used, and I think the area that they mention is definitely there, but the town itself maybe not. I'm not fully sure, but I couldn't find it. So that's interesting. I'm not a huge fan of fantasy set on Earth. I find it not as interesting for some reason. I just prefer kind of like that epic fantasy feel where we've got a whole new world and like that kind of thing. And this one is different again because this is what is called an epistolary novel. So the whole thing is just a set of journal entries. It is a very interesting way to tell a story because obviously you're reading what's happened from her point of view, laid out like you're reading someone's journal. And then Heather's put in conversations that have obviously happened through that day as a more story at the same time. So it's kind of a mix between reading it after it happened but still feeling like it's happening as you're reading it as well. So it is a little weird from that perspective. I have just met Wendell, so he's just arrived at the island, much to Emily's annoyance. She seems to have a friendship with him, though finds him frustrating, and she's under the belief that he is actually a fairy. impersonating a human, but no one else really believes her, which is not unusual. Even in her circles, they were like, no, that's not one of the high fae hiding and has been exiled. So she's got all these beliefs. She's really not good with people. She much prefers to be studying and researching, and she's obviously in the middle of writing an encyclopedia. And so she's gone to this little village in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of winter, to discover the hidden fae, the hidden fairies or the hidden ones that are apparently around this area. She accidentally insults, I think, like the head woman in the area, and it hasn't really made for a great start. Wendell is a much more easygoing. He has the ability to talk really well with people. He uses charm, gets what he wants, without it seeming like he's manipulating events, when really that is exactly what he's doing. It is extremely cozy. I don't know that I am enjoying it as much as the other cozy book that I have read, which I think I mentioned earlier, which was The Spell Shop by Sarah Beth Durst. It's just because it's such a different way of telling a story, I think, this one. The journal entries do take a fair bit to get used to, I think, that style. And I'm on page like 71 at the moment. It's definitely readable. It's easy to get through. My plan today for the rest of the day is just to have kind of a relaxed stay-at-home day and just read. So hopefully I can get through a decent chunk of this today. I really want to finish off the board and roll again. We're so close to the end. I think hopefully it'll only be one more roll, but knowing now that I've said that, I'm probably jinxing myself, so it'll be more than that. It is fairly late on Sunday night. I've just finished Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies and thought I'd pop in and tell you what I thought, and we'll roll out for our next book. I did quite enjoy this one. I liked Emily and Bumblebee's relationship. I thought their interactions and banter, like their discussions, were quite good. I liked him as a character. I thought he was really intriguing. I found the journal entry style slightly hard to get into. It kind of felt a lot of the time like I was reading a bit of a textbook with a story at the same time. So there was like the discussions between all the characters, and then it would just go really encyclopedia heavy and just feel like I was reading a textbook. And so that I probably could have done without, though it was also an intriguing idea. I am eager to, well, I don't know if eager is the right word. I will be continuing on with this series, but not eager, I guess, to jump straight into the next one. Though, like I said, it was an entertaining read. I enjoyed Emily and Bambley, and I'll be interested to see what happens with them in the next couple of books. I've given it a 3-star, so it was good. It was fairly quick reading it. And yeah, it was something different, but then I'm not opposed to it either. So if you like a good, more literary kind of guest style of writing, then I think this one will be fairly good for you. And the whole epistolary style of the novel is something that is intriguing and different. So definitely well worth giving a go. It is a bit slower, and I think that comes across more because of the journal entry style, and you do kind of feel taken out of the story a little bit. Also, oh my god, what is it with footnotes? I don't need a footnote. Like, what is that? What am I getting from that I'm not just getting in the story? And I will admit, after I read the first couple, I decided I didn't really need to read any of the others because they weren't giving anything else in the story. I didn't care. It was pretty much just referencing some other text from this world, and I was like, why do I need to know that? It doesn't add anything to the story, and it didn't give me information that I needed. So I just don't understand authors and footnotes in general. And especially in some ways, I'm glad I didn't try the audio. I do have this on audio, and my sister did say that she listened to it and the narrator does Brambley's voice extremely well. So I am kind of intrigued to hear how that is set up. But in a way, with the footnotes, I'm glad I didn't listen to her, because knowing how it played out with like never know, and how when I was reading that, it was hard to tell when they were reading footnotes and when they weren't. But I think that would have taken me out of the story even more if I was listening to it at the same time. So happy that I've read it now. I can see what it's like. And like I said, I will eventually read the next couple. They are on my TBR and we'll end up in the game. And we'll see when they come up. Let's go roll again and see if we can make it to the end of the board and do objectives 3 and 4. Last time we landed on info gathering, which got us Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies. Let's see, so we're well away from objective 3. We just got a 1, so we're doing objective 3. Okay, let's reset. I don't need to, or maybe we could roll again, because I know objective 3 can be mixed with a prompt, so we'll see what we can get. So let's do that. A 5, 2, and we would finish. So we're going to need at least 2 books then. So for objective 3 and objective 4, because I'm pretty sure I can't combine those prompts. So let's read the end of the story and we'll pick our last 2 books. Okay, so interesting turn of events. We've ended up rolling twice, which is fine. And we have our 2 objectives left. Objective number 3 says, you know where she's being held. You now have reliable information on the layout of the dungeon. It's time to go after your leader. Break the Silent Spectre out and bring her home by any means necessary. Be careful, there may be additional challenges along the way. Read a book with an action word in the title. Now, for this, the 2 books that I have left on my TBR for September do not have action words in the title, which is a little frustrating because I do really want to get to both of them. But I think I'm going to try The Gunslinger by Stephen King. This would be my first Stephen King that I have ever tried, and this is the first book in his Dark Towers series, which I have been eager to try. This one is one that I put on my want to read list for our fantasy bingo. So this is a book that was written in the 80s for that prompt, and I have just never tried it. It's not too thick, so hopefully it won't take me too long to get through, and hopefully I will really enjoy it. Like I said, I have never read a Stephen King before. I don't really know what I'm getting into. But all up, I think this whole book is 238 pages. And I think it just fits really well with the prompt. This will also work with another one of my Hercad prompts as well for my subgenres of choice, because this is a dystopian story. And so I can use it for that. And yeah. Hopefully this will be a good one. I will jump back in when I have started this one a little bit and give you an update. Then we did manage to roll 5 and get to the end. Objective 4 says, you have arrived at the prison and made it inside. After a few roadblocks and challenges, the Silent Scepter is free from the cell. But can you make it out of the mountain? Read a fast-paced book open to interpretation. And for objective 4, which was to read a fast-paced read, I am going to attempt the last 2 books on my TBR. I'm not going to put both of them in, but I'm not entirely sure which one is going to be more fast-paced than the other one until I actually try them. So we do have Fable by Adrienne Young, and this isn't overly long. It's a YA book, and when I flicked through it previously, I just feel like it's going to be fast-paced. I have no idea. The other option is the second in the Kingdoms of Empires series by Jacqueline Moriarty, which is the slightly alarming tale of the Whispering Wars. Now this one's a lot thicker, however the first one did read quite quickly, so I'm hoping that this one will too, although I will be trying this one first. Just because I'm okay with putting this one off a bit longer, but I would really like to knock this one off of my TBR. Not only for this, but also for Hercad. It's in for one of my prompts on there. Our Fantasy Bingo. It's in for one of my prompts on Our Fantasy Bingo. So it would really be handy to be able to knock that off as well. And hopefully I can allocate it to something else in my Hercad prompts as well. I think this one's more an all-rounder, whereas I know I'll be reading this one anyway. If for some reason Fable doesn't work, I will read this one and that will be the last prompt. Done. All right, in saying that, when I have started either one of these, which will probably be Fable, I will pop in with an update on how it is all going. So that is our last 2 prompts organized, and this vlog will just continue until we have finished all the last 3 books. If it does go into October, I don't see me finishing 3 books in the next 2 days. I have stuff going on and I don't think I'm going to have a huge amount of time to just sit and read. But we'll see how we go. Hopefully I can get a decent chunk into a couple of them and I will let you know.
Come a little closer. I wanna.
So just jumping in to give you an update on Fables. I am about 30% through this now, probably actually nearly halfway. And so I thought if I didn't update you now, I wasn't going to, because my plan is hopefully to try and finish this today. We'll see how I go. And today is the last day of September. So I'm not going to get to Gunslinger, but I'm hoping that it will only go in a couple of days into October. My plan is also to finish Silverborn today, because I've only got maybe a couple of hours left of the audio. Fable. So Fable is following Fable. That is the main character's name. And she has been abandoned by her father on a island full of kind of like cutthroat pirates, and they're mainly dredgers. So they dive down and try and find pyre, which I think is pyrite. I'm not entirely sure. It's like the closest I could kind of figure out to what they were talking about. Anyway, they find these in the rocks under the sea, and then they trade them off to ships that come to this island in the Narrows. And it's Fable's plan to escape this island, to work up enough coin to take passage on a ship and go and find her father and prove that she is capable of being with him. It's been fairly interesting. It is definitely a fast-paced book, so it does fit the prompt well, I think, for that. And it has been really interesting actually just reading a pirate book. It's been so long since, or actually if ever, I'm not entirely sure I've read very many pirate books at all. And there is obviously a lot of secrets going on. Fable, or we haven't found out, one, why her father left her on this island. We do know fairly early on that her mother has passed away, and so she's just been on her own, and she's pretty much a kid. I don't know exactly how old she is. I know that she has been on this island for 4 years, and it has been life-threatening. She has been attacked multiple times, and just the stories. So she has had a lot happen in her life. Her father had a ship and it did sink, and then literally that's as much as we really know. She did have a business relationship with one of the traders that came on another boat, and she was selling to this person West. He's her main supply of coin. But it is dangerous having any kind of coin or any pirate around, because it gets stolen by the other people on the island. She does manage to escape, and she has joined a ship full of people that do not trust her, and she doesn't trust them. So she doesn't know who to give her information to, and her aim is just to find her father, and that is it. And it's been really interesting at the moment. I'm finding it really easy to read. I'm enjoying Adrian Young's writing style at the moment. I am quite liking it. It's an intriguing story. It is quite action-packed. I think at the library we put it in the correct category for now. And I'm just eager to see what happens to Fable and to find out more of her secrets. I don't know what I'm thinking I will rate it. It's maybe a 4-star at the moment, but yeah, really enjoying it. Looking forward to reading a bit more, and like I said, hopefully finishing today. So you never know, I might be back with an update on 2 books being complete, but we will see. Hello, I have successfully managed to finish Silverborn, and I had a really good time with this one. It is such a good world that Jessica Townsend has created, and this book just doesn't disappoint. It slots right in with the other three, and it is just a really good time. I think for me, I probably, to my detriment, didn't read it with the other three. So I think if I had, it just would have added it in seamlessly. And I think my enjoyment level would have been even more than it was. It's just such a good story. It's fast-paced, intriguing, and even though it is chunky, I think that kids are gonna eat it up as well. And the audio is just done so well. I would highly recommend this series if you haven't read it already, and I highly recommend the audiobooks. They're a really good way to consume this story. I have given this one 5 stars. Like I said, I think I enjoyed the other three so much that they were all 5-star reads for me, and I was probably through a lot of it getting like 4-star feels, but I also think that it was because I was listening to it further away from the other three. I think if I'd done it all in a thing, it would have been an easy, not even question that it was a 5-star as well. I have given it 5 stars just because it deserves it. It is such a good book. I like I said, highly recommend. And I'm so glad that she has finally brought out the 4th book, and now I am eagerly awaiting the 5th. I think there's going to be 7 books in this series, and I'm kind of tempted to wait until they're all out and do them all again, but I probably will end up reading the next one when it comes out, and then possibly rereading them all again for the last book. But yeah, hopefully it won't be as long a period between the 4th and the 5th as it was between the 3rd and the 4th. The other book that I did manage to finish yesterday was Fable by Adrian Young. And again, I really enjoyed this one. It is a high action adventure pirate story. In the end, I've given it 3.5. I am intrigued to see what is going to happen in the next one. It left on a good point. I do want to know what's going to happen. I think that the romance that does eventually happen in this probably could have come up a little bit more from the very beginning, because I felt kind of like it was a little bit told, not seen. So that would be interesting to see what happens in the next one. There's a lot of found family in this, and yeah, super intrigued to see where Fable's story goes, and head back to the Narrows and hopefully onto the Marigold again. Like I said, I don't know that I've read many pirate stories overall, but I did quite enjoy this one. This is a YA book, so not a huge amount of spice, but I actually think I prefer that, and that is probably one of the reasons that I still really enjoy YA. Sometimes a lot of the characters can be super annoying. This wasn't the case in this one. I thought it was very well written, and as my first attempt at Adrian Young, I really enjoyed it, so I'm eager to check out more of what she has to offer. The last book that we have to read, I haven't started yet. It's technically the 1st of October as I film this update, so the readathon has technically finished for me, but I do want to sneak this book in for Objective 3 so that I can finish the prompt. And my last one is The Gunslinger by Stephen King. Really looking forward to trying Stephen King out. I've never read a Stephen King, and yeah, my plan today is my last day of leave before I go back after my surgery, so I'm going to not have anywhere near as much time to read from tomorrow. But this one isn't too long. It's only like 238 pages, so I'm hoping I can get a fair decent chunk of this done today. I don't know about finishing it. I do have a couple of things happening today, but I'm going to give it a go. Hope that I really like Stephen King. I am super impressed with how many books I have managed to get done in September for the readathon. Like, this is an insane amount, and some of them aren't small. So overall, I've read 12 books for the Readathon Rebellion. Well, 11, but 12. And really happy with myself. So there is also Thief with No Shadow, which would have been up on the screen as well when I was holding them up. And yeah, I really enjoyed my time and the readathon. So if you hadn't participated this year, I think Mel is planning on bringing it back next year, bigger and better than ever. But it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. Still haven't got my t-shirt arrived. Maybe by the time I finish Gunslinger, it will be here and I can show it off. But really enjoying my reading. I'll give you an update with Gunslinger, and then we'll finish up the vlog once I finish this. Hello, I thought I would just pop in. I have started The Gunslinger, which is the first in the Dark Towers series by Stephen King now. And I just thought I'd give you my first thoughts. I'm not hugely far into it. I'm on page 42. So it's like the beginning of, I'm going to call it chapter 9, but some of them, the chapters, like this one specifically, is only there to there. And then we get to 10. So there's some that are really short and then there's some that go for multiple pages. Anyway, I am probably going to have a not popular opinion of this book so far and say that it's gibberish. It's like it's just a spew of words that have been put on paper to form what seem to be sentences, but that they don't make any sense. At the moment, there doesn't seem to be any real world building. I don't understand what the hell is going on. This guy is walking across the desert, I think, following another guy in black. And the first guy's a gunslinger, and the other guy's just called the Dark Man or something. Yeah, it literally seems like Stephen King was on drugs when he was writing this, and how this got published I don't understand, and how this has even been turned into a movie TV series I'm not understanding either at the moment. I don't get it. I am gonna keep reading it. I really do want to read the whole thing just because I have it set up for so many prompts and I don't want to try and figure out another book. So yeah, and it is only short. It's only 230 pages. But it is weird in the point of view that I don't know if they're actually one long story or lots of different stories, because it's got like breaks and then the chapters start again. So I'm not sure if it's all one book or lots of little books. When I get to the second one, I guess I'll find out a little bit more, hopefully, if I can even understand what the hell is going on. But yeah, right now, this is getting like a 1 star. It may end up being like a 2, but it's gonna be hard to get through, I think. It is reading extremely slow. And yeah, there just doesn't seem any real emphasis on any kind of world-building story at all. It is Saturday night, so I have been back at work now for 2 days. So I did survive my first 2 days back at work, which was good, but I definitely was glad that the weekend came, and a long weekend at that. I have just managed to finish Gunslinger by Stephen King, which wraps up the Readathon Rebellion for me. So we are a little bit over September, which I knew was going to happen when we got to the end. So it is the 4th today, so we're a few days, but I have finished, so I can mark that off on Hercat as well for my readathon challenge, which is great. And I'm just really impressed with all the books that I managed to read for the Readathon Rebellion, which I would have shown you, I think, in the previous clip. So, Gunslinger. I will not be continuing on with this series, and I definitely won't be picking up any more Stephen King books. I never was really interested in Stephen King from the point of view that I don't like horror books, so I wasn't going to be reading any of that. I was really interested in this series though, being a fantasy dystopian series. I thought that this was going to be the one way that I could definitely consume some Stephen King and see what all the fuss was about. However, I don't see what the fuss is about. This book is absolute gibberish. It makes no sense whatsoever. And the fact that I read 238 pages of gibberish that felt like it took forever to get through, it was a slog. I do not know why everyone is so obsessed. And please tell me what I'm missing, because I just do not understand it. It's definitely not a series I'm going to be continuing on with. And yeah, I could say that I'm glad that I read it, but if I didn't have this down for my Our Fantasy Bingo, for the Readathon Rebellion, other things, and I don't know if I could actually DNF for the Our Fantasy Bingo and still have it count, that it's the only reason that I finished it. I would have DNF'd this way back at the beginning of the first story. There is like multiple stories in here. How many? 1, 2, 6 stories in here that all kind of interconnect, so they like follow on from each other. So they're kind of like chapters, but then within each one there is multiple little cut-offs with numbers. But it makes no sense. And the few people that I've actually spoken to as well, when I said that I was reading it, they have pretty much agreed with me. So I just don't get how a TV show for this was made, and 2, how it even got printed. Like, yeah. Anyway, definitely not for me. Won't be ever continuing on with that. But overall, September has been an awesome month reading wise. My wrap up is going to come up in the next week, and I have read more than I have ever read. And I had such a lot of fun going along with the Readathon Rebellion. It made my reading, like it gamified my reading, and it made it just so enjoyable. I only managed to not read one book off of my September TBR, which is awesome, which was Chloe's special pick, which I will move into October. So I am hoping to get that one done sharpish. But yeah, and also added in books that I wasn't planning to read that I enjoyed a lot and was really eager to get to. My t-shirt unfortunately didn't arrive, but I'm hoping that that won't take too much longer to get here, and then I'll have something for next year when we get around to that. But overall, I hope you have enjoyed the vlogs. If you have watched them, thank you so much. I have just hit over 300 subscribers as well, which I cannot believe. And I'm so happy for those who have subscribed and stick around and watch all of my videos. Thank you so much. It's amazing that there are 300 of you that are willing to subscribe. So thank you so much. And I hope that you are looking forward to whatever I have coming up next. And if you would like to, and you haven't already, please feel free to hit the subscribe button. I'd love to have you on board. I've also linked down below my Goodreads, my Storygraph, and my Instagram if you'd like to come and follow me over on any of those. And I hope that wherever you are having a wonderful day. And we'll see you next time. Bye.